Let's talk about it. Good evening, everyone. My name is Scott Reich, and this is Crime Talk. This is our Tuesday night live program. I want to thank everyone for joining us. A couple things I want to mention. First, apologize, didn't get a video up. Why didn't you get a video up, Scott? Oh, that's right. You were out doing legal stuff all day. That's right. Spent 7 hours doing a motions hearing, and I wish I could tell you more about it. But what I can tell you is, if you think that somebody in the government is looking out for your legal rights, it's naive. They're not. I have said this before, and I will say it again, and I absolutely believe it. Nobody in the government gets up and says, you know what? I think maybe we need to pull the power back from the government just a little bit here and give more rights and freedoms to the people of this great country. Nobody does that. And what takes place is that prosecutors, detectives overreach, and when they get caught with their hand in the cookie jar, you know, figuratively speaking, it's kind of like when they, I don't know, let's say take evidence home with them that they don't document anywhere. It comes out on cross-examination. You realize that they just, I just happened, did I forget to put that little tidbit in? Yeah. So, not to sound too cynical, but that's just the way it is. And I don't think anyone's going to be able to convince me otherwise. We need good police. I'm not anti-police. I love good police, but I don't like police officers that take liberties with the United States Constitution. Let's just get that out there. If you are a bad and dirty cop and you don't think you can follow the rules, or you think that, well, I'm dealing with bad dudes and therefore the ends justify the means. If we cross that line just a little bit, maybe they won't catch us. And, well, we crossed that line that one time. Let's go a little farther the next time. And then you finally get caught. And you literally look like you're just sweating, having an uncomfortable day up there. And regardless of how many times the prosecutor objects and the judge overrules and you're forced to answer those questions, if you're not going to be a good cop, you need to just quit now. That's it. You don't get to take liberties and say, well, I didn't think that was important. Well, oh, you mean it contradicts what your key witness is saying? You didn't think that was relevant? You ever heard of Brady v. Maryland? You have an obligation to protect all the evidence in the case, even the stuff that doesn't help the government? Really? Unbelievable. If you can't be a good cop, go away. We like good cops. When I used to teach years and years ago, I taught future police officers. And you know what I would tell them? Just do the right thing. Just do the right thing. And just like I tell attorneys that work for me, simple rules to live by. Don't steal your client's money. Communicate with your client. And always remember, never forget, that no client will ever pay you enough money to jeopardize your law license, and you never met a client worth going to prison for. Bottom line, I don't care how much you like your client, not worth losing your law license or going to prison for. And just like I would tell these young students years ago, a long time ago, when I would teach them, say, just do the right thing. Put it in the report. What happened? Don't exaggerate. Don't leave something out if you remember it. Don't put it in if it didn't happen. And just remember, no defendant is worth going to jail for. No defendant is worth losing your post certification to be a police officer. Just do the right thing. That's all you got to do. But so often they just get so cynical. I think they get burnt out and they think they want to cross the line and do whatever. And then guess what? You meet, people that are already skeptical of people in the government. And when you see it, you're just like, wow, I'm coming for you. I am coming for you. And let's just say, you're having a good day when the district attorney, who's usually very polite and jovial, doesn't acknowledge your existence when you walked into court first thing this morning or when you left. Bottom line, you got them. You know that you've got them. So just remember that. I wish I could talk more about it, but let's just say it breaks my heart. It really does. Because you see that people in the government don't care about the Constitution. They literally see it as a hindrance to them. And it's supposed to be. That was the goal of the founding fathers.
America.
I know we've talked about this, and I'm not going to harp on it for too long, but the reason the founding fathers, they couldn't get the Constitution ratified unless the first 10 amendments, the Bill of Rights. Why was that there? Because that's everything that the king did when he didn't like what his subjects who didn't agree with him would do. Oh, shut down the newspaper. Oh, those pesky priests. They're telling the king is not a nice guy and maybe protest him. Oh, can't protest either. We'll do that. Take away all of their weapons, everything that they can use. I don't know. I saw something in Haiti, right? There's a bunch of gang warfare and stuff going on in Haiti. Basically, a pretty lawless society. Only the gangs have weapons. But now the people are sick and tired of it. So they're going around with machetes and basically getting all these gang members and, for lack of a better term, chopping them up and setting them on fire because they've had enough. People get tired of lawlessness, particularly when it comes from people that are saying, we're the law. All right? So the founding fathers, all those first 10 amendments, rummaging through your belongings. What if a police officer showed up on your doorstep and said, hey, I've seen a couple of your social media posts, and it looks like you really don't like whomever in the government. Just, you fill it in the blank. You posted it. You like something. And somebody shows up at your doorstep the next day and says, we see you didn't, something on your social media. We're going to come in and take a look around. You'd be like, what? No, get a warrant. Oh, we don't need a warrant. We're going to come look around anyway. So we're just going to save the hassle. Don't worry about it. That's a general search. That's what the king used to do. It was a big deal. And everybody these days, and I know people, well, I wasn't doing anything wrong. They can come in and look at my house. Why would anybody ever agree to that? You don't know what they're looking for. What if they brought it with them and they conveniently placed it there? It's not unheard of, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just, maybe it's just because I had a really long day in court that went really well for this guy. But it really breaks your heart when you find out that people in the government that are there supposed to serve and protect aren't following the rules. And, you always hear about cases that go up on appeal and, maybe they get to the state Supreme Court or the federal Supreme Court. Who's doing it? I think it's those big fancy brown shoe law firms that always seem to argue those cases at the Supreme Court. Were they down there in the trenches on an everyday basis, making arguments, telling the government, you can't do this. This is not correct. It's a violation of the Constitution. No, those big national firms, they only picked up cases up when they say, hey, it looks like you got a case going to the Supreme Court. Would you like us to argue it for you? We think it's really significant. We'd really like to be a part of your case. Had that happen, we had a couple of cases that are up on cert. People, hey, if they accept cert, we'd really like to help you out, argue the case, because they wanted to get in front of the United States Supreme Court. I was like, no. If we get there, I've got this. I can handle it. But who makes those laws? It doesn't just miraculously go up to the Supreme Court. It's some little public defender, some criminal defense attorney down there saying, no, government, you can't do that. And it's those little public defenders and the defense attorneys that are, representing people that are scraping together a few bucks to get representation because they want somebody to fight for them and say, hey, that didn't seem right to me. And you say, you're right. I don't think it seems right to you either. I agree with you. And you go and you make the argument, and the district attorney looks at you like, oh, is that a third eye you got there on your forehead, Scott? Because you look ridiculous. I'm giving you my, oh my God, what is growing on your face look? And they talk down to you with complete indignation, and they poo-poo you. They move along. I am the government. I am doing everything good and righteous. How dare you question me whatsoever? And it's always funny, like, it's like, hey, I don't have this stuff, this discovery you're supposed to turn over. You have everything. You just need to look harder. Okay, I've got some really good staff members here, and I've looked and I've had them double check it and triple check it, and we just don't have it. Well, you've got everything. And then you write the nice letter. Hey, please do this. You've got everything. And then you file a response. Then you have to file the motion with the court, and you attach your polite letter and their complete dismissiveness. And ultimately, they realize, oh, sorry, we didn't turn that over. And now you would think, as a district attorney, and we've talked about this when I was a prosecutor a long, long time ago, my boss was always of the mindset, give the defense whatever they want, and we're still going to convict the guy or woman. Give them what they want. Why play hide the ball? And how many times have I said this? Many times over the 5 years we've been doing this YouTube channel, podcast. Don't worry about the district attorneys, the state prosecutors who say, I'm going to give you whatever you want. You got it, Scott. I'll look it up. Let me find out what's going on. We'll make sure you get that. It's the ones that play hide the ball, because that means they don't have good skills. They're insecure, and they, frankly, don't think they can win if you have everything. But little do they know that this isn't your first rodeo, and you can go out there and start causing a little hate and discontent to the point where, wow, they won't even talk to you. And it's not because I'm wrong. I was the one having a good day at the court hearing, not them. So just disheartening, ladies and gentlemen. And I get it. You can say, oh, Scott, you're just a criminal defense lawyer. I am. And I am protecting the Constitution on a daily basis. I am not condoning what my clients did or allegedly may have done, but I'm protecting their rights. And the government hates it. Hates it when you stand up and say, I don't think you're doing it right. I don't think you have turned over everything that I need. And when it looks like it looks like this evidence was somebody manipulated it in the wee hours of the morning, that just doesn't make sense to me. Because those cell phones, they record everything. It's amazing what they record. We saw that in the Murdoch trial, remember? When you change it from portrait mode to regular mode, it changes. You turn it on, you turn it off, anything. Like, wow, that's funny because that should be in property. And it turned out somebody took it home with them. That's not normal, is it? Please, show of hands. Who here thinks that's normal? Oh, yeah, no, not me. No, not me. Not to sound like the cynic, ladies and gentlemen, but it is... If anybody thinks the government is looking out for your best interest, it's naive. It really, truly is. It really, truly is. You're on your own. At the end of the day, you are on your own. You must take care of yourself. And maybe I'm becoming so cynical, but when, the government says, oh, there's nothing to worry about, I'm heading to the hills. If they tell me to go right, I'm probably going to go left. I just don't trust them. And I don't care what side of the political spectrum they're on. When they get into power, they have one objective: to loot the treasury and enrich their friends and maintain that power and get as much power as possible. Bottom line. All right. I don't know about you, but I feel a heck of a lot better. I just, like I said, it was a good day. It was a long day though, but I hate missing doing shows. Really, I mean, it is fun. I love doing this. But there's nothing better than a great cross-examination where the witness just looks like, you've heard the saying, they look like, a prostitute, in church kind of thing, just sweaty and easy. And when it's police officers, like, oh, I didn't know I had to preserve exculpatory evidence. Oh, I didn't know that. I've only been a police officer for 20 plus years, but, oh, really? And you confront them on it and say, really? Because you're either did that willfully or you're not very good at your job, are you? I mean, I'm telling you. Once again, the reason why I think there should be cameras in every courtroom where people can see what's taking place in their community every single day. To say, hey, are they doing a good job? Like, wow, that doesn't make sense. Why would they be doing that? Have they been doing this a long time? Should we be concerned? Have they not been following this? Oh my gosh, if somebody did this, can you imagine this would completely change the way that they could do various searches on things because they've been ignoring it. We talked about the Fourth Amendment. It specifically says you can't have a general search. If the government wants to search something, they have to establish why they want to search something and specifically what they're looking for. Not, you see these search warrants that I want all information during this particular time period. Good enough for me. No, Supreme Court can't do that. Most state Supreme Courts can't do that. It's a general search in violation. You have to know what you're looking for. Just like when a defendant wants to subpoena records, you don't get to say, I want all correspondence between the company and this person over a period of time. You have to know exactly what you're looking for, not just all communications regarding a particular subject matter. General, you can't do that. It'll get quashed. You're going on a fishing expedition. Government just doesn't like it that way. So anyway, all right, I'm done with my rant. I feel better. I hope you all feel better. I sure know I do. Okay. I sure know I do. So